Are you absolutely sure the SUV you're about to buy actually feels worth the money? Or are you quietly settling for something that looks good on paper but feels disappointingly basic every single day? Because the moment you sit inside the 2026 Hyundai Tucson, a strange question hits you almost immediately. Why does this feel more expensive than it should? Why does it feel like Hyundai has crossed into territory normally reserved for brands that charge thousands more? And why aren't more people talking about the fact that this SUV might be blurring the line between mainstream and premium in ways that could make buyers uncomfortable? At first glance, the 2026 Tucson doesn't scream luxury, but that's exactly what makes it dangerous, because its design has evolved into something quietly confident with sharper lines, a cleaner front fascia, and proportions that feel intentional rather than flashy, giving off a presence that suggests refinement rather than desperation for attention. And when you step inside, that illusion doesn't fall apart the way many rivals do. Because instead of cheap plastics and awkward layouts, you're greeted by a cabin that feels thoughtfully designed, with materials that don't immediately remind you of cost-cutting, seats that feel supportive rather than stiff, and a layout that feels closer to what you'd expect in a higher segment, making you wonder if Hyundai is intentionally undercutting expectations to surprise buyers later. The dashboard flows smoothly, the screens feel integrated instead of slapped on, and the overall environment feels calm, modern, and strangely upscale for a compact SUV that's not supposed to compete with luxury brands. Yet here it is, making you question whether spending more money elsewhere even makes sense anymore, especially when the technology experience feels polished, responsive, and intuitive, without overwhelming you with unnecessary gimmicks or confusing menus that make daily driving stressful. On the road, the 2026 Tucson continues this unexpected theme, because instead of feeling rough, noisy, or unrefined like many vehicles in this class, it delivers a ride that's composed, predictable, and comfortable, soaking up road imperfections in a way that feels mature rather than budget-focused, while steering and acceleration feel tuned for confidence instead of excitement, which is exactly what most real-world buyers want but rarely get without paying more. The cabin stays quieter than you'd expect at highway speeds, insulation feels improved, and the overall driving experience creates a sense of calm that makes long trips less tiring, which is often where cheaper vehicles expose their weaknesses. Yet the Tucson manages to hide them well, raising the question of whether this premium feel will last after months or years of ownership. Because that's where many impressive first impressions collapse under the weight of reality. Hyundai's reputation for reliability and warranty coverage adds another layer of confidence here. Because while luxury brands often promise premium experiences, they also bring higher maintenance costs, expensive repairs, and long-term anxiety that can quietly drain your wallet. Whereas the Tucson positions itself as a smarter, lower-risk alternative that still delivers that elevated daily experience without the financial stress. Although buyers should still be cautious, because not every trim feels equally premium. And some of the most impressive features are tied to higher packages that can quickly push the price closer to territory where competition becomes fierce. There's also the question of whether the premium feel is genuine or carefully engineered through visual tricks and clever design. Because while materials and tech impress initially, long-term ownership will reveal how well everything holds up to weather and real-world use, something Hyundai has improved at but still needs to prove consistently. Still, when you step back and look at the bigger picture, the 2026 Hyundai Tucson creates an uncomfortable truth for both buyers and competitors, because it delivers a level of refinement, comfort, and perceived quality that challenges long-held assumptions about what mainstream SUVs are supposed to feel like, making you wonder if paying more automatically means getting more anymore, or if the smartest move in 2026 is choosing the vehicle that quietly gives you the premium experience without forcing you into premium pricing, premium, repair bills, and premium regret later on, which leaves one final question hanging in the air. If the Tucson already feels this good, how much sense does overspending really make?